All right, what's up? We're going to cover all of the chords for beginners, man. All of them, and I'm going to give you the way to practice them and how to think of them and keep track of them. We're going to cover about 17 basic chords, plus a couple of extras at the end, just to give you a taste of what's coming, and some ones I don't like. Of course, if you like this junk, subscribe. Follow me on Instagram. I'm super active on Instagram. I'm trying to get more active on YouTube, but that's where you can catch me all the time on a regular. Okay, quickly, we're going to go through some vocab and some technical stuff because I'm not sure what you know, but I'm going to move crazy fast. So you can send me a message if you don't understand, or rewind, man. Rewind or pause. That's what we're doing. Okay, so on your fretting hand, on the fretting hand where you're squeezing the guitar, the numbers for your fingers are index is 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. Your 4 is the pinky. Boom. That's how we're doing it. If you're reading tab, the line on top is the skinny string. The line on the bottom is the fat one. That's string 6. Your strings are numbered 6 to 1 from the ceiling to the floor. Bigger number, bigger string. There we go. If you're looking at a chord diagram where the guitar is vertical, the fat string's on the left, the skinny string's on the right. Let's get moving. Okay, your major chords. There's 8 important chords for a beginner to learn. 5 of them are major. The way you remember the 5 major chords is CAGED. C-A-G-E-D, those are all major. C major, A major, G major, E major, D major. From those 5, there's 3 that we get a minor chord from. That spells AID. A-D-E. A minor, D minor, E minor. Boom. Then what we're going to do is tack a 7 onto all of those. That'll give you 16. And then the random outlier is B7, because a beginner can play B7. So that's what we're going to be doing. Okay, now, as far as the order of importance, I said learn those 8 ones first. The first 8 ones we're going to do. Now, which chord's easiest? Which one should I start with? That's all bullshit. Whoever tells you that one of these 8 chords is easy is lying to you or is biased. Whichever chord is easiest is the one you learn first, because the one you learn first is the one you practice the most. So just learn them in this order. Just get through that shit and let's go. Now, how to actually practice the chords. When a beginner starts learning chords, they put down their fingers sequentially, like 1 finger, 2 fingers, 3 fingers, play. Okay, so the first thing you have to do in order to be able to play a song at tempo, to play it at the speed the song is written at, is you have to be able to move your fingers as an entire block. Instead of 1, 2, 3, they all come down at once. And the way you're going to do that is once I teach you a chord, what you're going to do, let's take this C chord, is you're going to get the chord, make sure it sounds right, then take your fingers and wiggle them. Then play it again. Then take them off and wiggle them. Now, why is the wiggle so important? The wiggle is the key. It's because if I have you pick your hand up, you're going to try to cheat. You're going to try to leave your fingers over where you think the notes are to get back to them quickly. And what I want to do is make it harder for your muscle memory. That way you're forced to use your brain and your muscles at the same time to relay that information and make it quick. Once you got the chords down, then what you want to do is start practicing in sets of 2, like 2 chords, and then 3 chords, and then 4 chords, and so on. Although most songs will be based on 2, 3, or 4, and anything bigger is just usually multiples of that junk. So usually a set of 8 chords is really 2 sets of 4, or a set of 6 chords is really 2 sets of 3. Okay, now these are my opinions, but I've given thousands of lessons. You could tell me, hey man, I don't like the way you do it. You do it your own way, because the reality of guitar playing is there's a lot of things to do and to cover. And as long as you're consistent and put the work in, you're going to figure out how to do it. Even if you don't do it my way, you'll figure it out. Just put in the time. Okay, let's cover these chords. Let's go. C major. First thing about a C major chord is don't play all 6 strings. Leave the fat guy out. Leave string 6 out. That guy, don't play him. Play these. And there's no alternate fingering for this. Assuming that you have all your fingers. I'm assuming that you got all the fingers on your fretting hand. All right. So we got the C major chord. Easy peasy, man. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Now let's do A major. Well, let's go, sorry. C major. So we got the 3rd finger, 3rd fret, 5th string. 2nd finger, 4th fret, 2nd string. 1st finger, 1st fret, 2nd string. This shit's hard to say. Boom. Now let's do A major. A major is triple 2s, man. We got a 2 with your index on the 4th string, a 2 with your 2nd finger on the 3rd string, and a 2 with your 3rd finger on the 2nd string. I don't know if I said that weird. Look at the diagrams, man. Stop trying to listen to all these numbers and just look at the pictures. Get good at reading the pictures and copying what you see on the fretting hand. Alternate ways you will see this chord played. Some people will play it, believe it or not, with fingers 2, 3, and 4. I think that's damn weird, but you can do it. You'll also see people bar it with just their index finger. So they're holding everything down with their index. Now note that when you hold it down all with your index, typically the first string is muted because of your index finger touching it. And some weird classical players or flamenco players will do a semi-bar where they will bar 2 strings, the 4th and the 3rd, and they'll use their second finger for the C sharp, the 2nd fret of the B string. But for the regular beginner, I would say use your 3 fingers, sequential, 1, 2, 3. That's what you want to do with A major. Now let's talk to a dude that's got a lot of variations. G major. G major's got the most weird stuff going out of all the beginner chords. And depending on which teacher you learn from, you're going to hear some weird shit. Okay, the typical way, the way I suggest you should play this, is you should use your 2 dominant fingers, 1 and 2, on the bass strings. Right? 2 on 6, 6th string, 1 on the 5th string. And then your choice, player's choice, either use your 3rd finger for the 3rd fret on the 1st string, or use your pinky. Some people want to upgrade this and add an extra digit, and now they've got the 2 of the 3rd frets here. 3rd fret with 3rd finger and 3rd fret with the pinky. Those are all awesome. Now, what's the weird shit about it? Some people will show you to play it with fingers 2, 3, and 4, and some books will tell you that as well. Ends up with something looking like this. The only advantage that this thing has is it can be easier to switch to C. That's the only advantage it's got. That's not a good enough advantage to use this chord. I think this chord is a pile of garbage. It sounds the same, so why do I think it's garbage? Because when you choose the fingers that you're going to play a chord with, you want to choose on practicality. The weakest finger on your hand and the shortest is the pinky. The strongest and most dominant is the index. This weird-ass fingering makes it where your strongest finger is not active and you're forced to use your pinky. That's a terrible reason right there. But more importantly is, what can my extra digit do? Not much. There's not a lot of cool shit that my index finger can do over here. But if we use this shape, then we get the easy transition between a G and a C, for example. I don't expect you to know all this, I'm just trying to give you some insight here. So you get the G, C9. Also in this position, you get a lot of bluegrass stuff. Crap sitting in there, man. So I recommend using the 3 fingers with your 3rd, or 3 fingers with your pinky, or 4 fingers, and just stack it up like that. Refer to the diagram. So we've done C, A, and G. That takes us to E major. Remember, these are all major chords. E major. Nothing fancy here, man. There's not really another extra way to do this. Going from the ceiling to the floor, I'm using 2nd finger, 3rd finger, index on frets 2, 2, and 1. Booyah. That's all there is to it. C, A, G, E leaves us with D. D is another 3-finger chord using our 3 most dominant fingers. Going from the ceiling to the floor, my fingers are finger 1, 3, and 2. The advantage, well, it's an advantage, everyone plays this chord this way, but some tricks that you'll end up doing with it is doing things with your 2nd finger up and down, or from your 2nd finger to your pinky underneath, or mixing it all together. Boom. That's all the major chords. C, A, G, E, D.